Hello, sharks! Welcome back to my channel. It is Friday. Happy Friday. We made it. One full week. Online learning. How fun. It's exciting. I'm here today to walk you through the paint portion of our portraits of our pets or animals, and I am going to just be covering some of the basic things that you need to know to start this part. Okay, this is going to be an ongoing part as well. So if you haven't finished outlining, that is important to do first, please. And then we will move on. To start, here's my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. My goal was to get to 48 subscribers, and I'm almost there for the weekend. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Okay. Anyways, moving on. We are in Photopea. I'm going to go ahead and open from my computer my download that I have. It's usually found in your downloads. Okay, and I am done with my outline, so I am ready to move on to paint. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to create a new layer. You can either go to Layer, New Layer, or you can click this little button down here and it'll add you a new layer. Now, with layers, you have a couple different options. One is you can create a new layer for each individual section you are painting or feature you are painting, or you can just have one total paint layer. It's completely up to you. Some of you did it either way when we were doing our digital self-portraits, so it's completely up to you what you feel more comfortable with or what you like doing better. So for me, I like separating them. If you're going to do it this way, please make sure you're labeling. It is very important. It automatically will call it layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and that can get a little confusing when you're going back in there trying to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this, and I'm going to name this like his tongue, excuse me, tongue paint layer. And I'm going to go ahead and put that underneath my draw layer. Now, your layers, remember, the list, whatever's on the top is in front. So I want my draw layer, which is my outline, to be above all of my painting. So that's why I'm putting it on the top of my layer list. Okay. Tongue paint layer. I'm going to go ahead and turn my picture up to 100% opacity, and I'm going to grab my eyedropper tool, which I can click around his tongue and get some different values. And if you do not like the value that the eyedropper tool gives you, then go ahead and change it manually. That's okay. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go ahead and maybe change it and make it a little bit lighter. It's up to you. If you like what the eyedropper tool picked for you, use it. If you don't, change it. Completely up to you. Okay? Now, when I start painting and I go to my paintbrush, remember, there is so many different options for paintbrushes. Okay, going from the size and the hardness. Okay, the hardness right here you can see. This is 100% hardness, so notice that it's full and it's going to give you just a pretty solid paint line. And this is 100% soft right here. So you can see that one's more airy. It's kind of like a spray paint almost, it kind of gives you that little softer edges. It's really good for blending and kind of layering paints next to each other, things like that. Just overall just being a softer kind of paint. So for this particular, I'm going to keep it 100% and I'm going to outline his tongue. I'm going to show you in just a second, and then you can soften up a little bit later. When we're painting, just like with our digital self-portraits, what I suggested is that you pick kind of a medium color. So for example, if you are doing like when we were doing our hair or our skin tone, I suggested you pick more of a medium tone, and then we could go back in there, or a medium value rather, and we can go back in there and we can kind of either do highlighting or shading afterwards. So just getting it painted one color and then going back in there and adding the different values is one way to do it. You don't have to do it that way though. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this brush. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, remember the quick command for that is Control plus. To zoom out is Control minus. And when you're zoomed in like this, you want to go ahead and use your hand tool, and you can kind of move around the screen without affecting your actual project. So using the hand tool, I'm going to kind of move around. I'm going to grab my brush and I'm going to go ahead and start just kind of outlining. Okay. This is going to be the part that's, going to take a little bit of time, because you just kind of want to go really slow and make sure you're, going within the lines and things like that. So this part might take you a little bit. okay? And then the filling in between the outline is going to be a little bit quicker. I can use a bigger brush. All right, if you notice right now when I'm painting, his fur is kind of, his hairs go over his tongue. So when I'm getting to the portion of painting his fur up there, I'm going to probably use the softer brush and let it go over a little bit. And I'll show you what I mean when I get to that section. But so right now I'm just painting his tongue all one color, and then I'm going to go back in there and add some different values. That is for a different video. We're going to do that separately. Remember, we use dodge and burn tools usually for that. You don't have to use dodge and burn tools. Some of you just used the color that you had, but made it a little bit darker or a little bit lighter, and that's fine too. Oh, hello, Miss Soroka. You are not staying inside the lines. Okay? So just taking your time with this and going slow, you know, and making it kind of precise is where it's at. Okay, so just for time's sake, because I only have 10 minutes of this video, I'm going to create a bigger brush and kind of fill in this. So you can see with the outline, after you do the outline and get around those edges, it's pretty quick to just kind of fill in the in-between here. All right, so making sure again too that you're always on your paint layer is very helpful, because if you are not on your paint layer, then we could have some issues later on. All right, so we are going to go ahead and paint this all one color. I will go in there later on and add some different values, and I'll show you again how to do that in a different video. Today, just focus on getting some of these different parts of your pet or animal painted, even just one base color. And then, like I said, we can work on adding some different values next week. All right. On my YouTube channel, I told you guys that I would be posting every single day. And I am going to even try to post on the weekend, even if it's not regarding this stuff, just to kind of show you what I'm doing on the weekend. Maybe I'm going to be planting or taking Cheeto for a walk in my neighborhood. I don't know. I don't know. But I will share with you my day if you guys are interested. Okay, so that's just pretty much it. I'm doing his tongue right now. If you want to next week tune in to me doing his fur, which if you can notice right now is going to be really a little bit difficult because he is brindle. So that'll be fun to watch me struggle with that. But just picking a specific part of your animal today and just painting it one base color would be fine. If you are someone that doesn't like doing it that way, then go ahead, by all means, do it your way. This is, you know, really, we talked about it in Photopea. Sometimes there are a couple different ways to do the same thing, and there's not necessarily a right way. Okay, so if you have your own way of doing this and that you want to do it, go ahead. Again, the only suggestions I have is just to make sure that you are labeling. If you are having, you know, if you're creating multiple layers, label them to keep them organized, and save. Okay, right now, file, save as. Okay, I got most of the tongue done. I don't want to have to do that again if something happens, if my browser decides to restart, if my internet connection gets lost, if I accidentally unplug my computer or my Chromebook dies. I don't want to have to redo it all. So periodically saving as to will help you a whole lot. At any point in time, you can rename this. So what is I think a great idea too is just dating it. So you could call it 327 Pet Portrait. So I know that this is from today. So now when I save it, if I do a save as PSD, watch as it downloads, it's going to call it 327, see down here, 327 Pet Portrait PSD. So I know that it's from today and it's my most recently saved. Okay, so that helps a lot too. And then that's pretty much all I have for today. Just try to get some of that done. And then I will post another video showing how to add some different values using our dodge burn, or using just some different values of the same color. Like I said, for his tongue, I could just use a darker pink or a lighter pink to show some of those, the shade, to do shading and to show the tinting and things like that. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am limited to 10 minutes for a video, so I am pretty much there. Email me, leave a comment below, subscribe, and I will post tomorrow some fun things. Hopefully you guys are doing great. I miss you all. Happy Friday.